Today I'm going to be answering your comments and questions, which is extremely useful in learning about the KDP low content and no content book publishing business. And if you watched the last video, you'll know that it was also quite entertaining. And for myself in particular, I also find it very educational because I get questions asked about things I hadn't even thought of before. Now, if you've not been here before, my name's Paul Marles and I do videos on how to make it, keep it and grow it, and that's your money I'm talking about. If you do like videos like that, then please do give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and smash that notification bell to receive notification of when I produce more videos like this. Okay, so let's get to it. Now, I've got the questions on my phone and I'm going to try my best to answer them. So the first one is, I have 50 plus notebooks in different niches. The designs are pretty nice, but I got 0 sales for months. Should I do ads for them or wait and give them more time? Okay, so you've told me you've not had sales for months, so that implies that they have been up for sale for months, because one of the common questions I do get is, I published a book last week, not getting any sales, should I put ads on there? The answer to that usually is a straight no, because you've got to give them more time, allow the book to get into Amazon, get some keyword relevancy, and hopefully make some initial sales without having to put ads on. That's just my opinion. And no, there are some other people that do run ads straight away on their books soon after they publish them. But I'm just telling you what's worked for me. Now, the problem is you've produced 50 books but not had any sales. Now, recently did a video on KDP sales. I'll leave the link above. And basically, sales come from traffic plus conversions. So you've got to look at, is the issue with traffic? Are you not getting eyeballs on your book? Or is it due to conversions, i.e. the cover is not up to scratch, the interior isn't particularly appealing, the title, subtitles aren't particularly good, the description's not good, or is it too expensive or too cheap? The other point was reviews, but that's out of your control. Now, if it's an issue with conversions, i.e. the cover, etc. is not really attractive or going to get you sales, then running ads wouldn't make any difference. If it's just purely an issue of traffic, then yes, I think ads would help because it gets eyeballs onto your book. Now, the problem is, if you've not sold any books at all, you're not going to know really whether it's an issue with traffic or whether it's an issue with conversions. And what I normally like to do with mine is have a sort of what I call a proof of concept. Is there a design that I've got that's selling and similar designs selling in other books that I've created? Because then I know, okay, that basic concept is making sales, so that if I produce a book with a similar design in a different niche and I'm not making any sales, I know that the issue is mainly due to traffic, and that could be related to my keyword research, or it could just be in a very competitive market, in which case I'd run ads on it. Now, my last video I did was about creating an author brand, and I focused around this author here, Alice Cantrell, who produces these, what I consider fantastic books, low content type books with these original covers, which I just happen to love. It depends on your taste. Now, she's making sales. Now, if she was to produce a book in a different niche with a similar type of cover, she would know, and I would know, that she's making sales. Excuse me, I've got to shut the window because a boat is passing. And so she's got this proof of concept. And I would say yes. I mean, if you're producing a book with this particular design, you're the author, and you just created this, then yes, I would say run ads pretty quickly, within a week or two, because you know that this particular design is going to sell and it's just an issue of traffic. So basically what my advice or answer to this question would be is just keep creating more books and wait till you start making organic sales, and then look at that particular book. Maybe replicate the cover design, or use elements of that cover design to create other books in different niches, and if those start to sell, you've got something that is converting, and then you can run ads on it. If you do want to run ads on your book straight away without any sales, then again, That's fine. And if you see that you're getting traffic and you're getting clicks but no sales, then you know it is an issue with one of those 5 factors that I've said: cover, interior, description, title, subtitle and price point. Okay, next question. Oh, this was a comment about duplicate content. And this commenter, David Robertshaw, coined this term I've not heard of before, called medium content. So we've got no content books, low content books, and we've got medium content books, which I love. And he's referring to things like colouring books, probably puzzle books, homeschooling, education, activity type books, as more of medium content type books. And what had happened was this chap had produced a number of books, colouring books, all with the same interior by the sounds of it, but with different covers, and KDP had pulled him up on that. So that's a good learning point. If you are creating these more complex interiors that are original, I would avoid using those interiors in lots of different books. It's okay if you're doing things like line journals, graph paper journals, dot grid journals, that type of things, and also, you know, creating a few different copies of logbooks with similar interiors. But I think when you get to something more complex, it's advisable not to do that. And it's understandable, because you don't want customers, or as Amazon doesn't want customers, buying one colouring book and then coming across another colouring book with the exact same interior. That would spoil the whole customer experience. So that's understandable. And it sounds like that they are checking and pulling people up on there. What you don't want to risk is them going then through a manual search of your channel and finding other issues, and then, you know, maybe even banning your channel. I know people have lost their KDP sellers accounts, which I don't know the exact reasons, but, you know, coming from doing merch on Merch by Amazon accounts, I know that there are issues with, you know, you get manual checks, and if there's designs, you know, copyright issues, you can lose your account. So you want to, you know, kind of behave, stick to Amazon's terms of service, fly under the radar, and don't create any undue or unwanted attention to yourself or your account, and let it remain healthy. So that's a good one, and thank you, David, for that. Okay, next I had one commenter saying I'm the only YouTuber with a siren head in the background, and he was referring to this lamp here. I had to look up what a siren head was, and yes, I can see the similarities. It's a type of a sculpture, but it's not. It's just a pure normal old lamp. Now, the next question was, whilst publishing a notebook, KDP removed the option to have my book self-expanded. That's the expanded distribution. Do you know why? Now, I had heard of this few months back, that you couldn't do expanded distribution, and I did a little search back then, couldn't really find much information on it, and noticed that my books are still selling in expanded distribution, and when I'm publishing books I still get that option to choose expanded distribution. And then someone mentioned that this could be due to the size of the book, and this may be the reason that they're only doing expanded distributions if it's maybe a standard size. So if it's a 6 by 9 inch or 8.5 by 11 inch, then standard distribution might be okay. Again, which is understandable, I think. You know, if it's going to expanded distribution and going into physical bookshops, they may want just certain standard sizes that fit on the shelves nicely. I'm not 100% sure of that. But I think it's because if you're publishing different sizes, they don't sit well with the expanded distribution. So that may well be the reason why. If anyone does know the exact reason, if it's not that and it's something else, then please let me know in the comments below, because that'd be very useful. Okay, next question. Can I increase the bid on automatic ads when running automatic ads on the Amazon advertising platform? And my answer to that is yes, you can. And all you do is you just go to your ad, click on your ad, go to campaign settings, and here you've got default bid, and you can use the little arrows up and down to increase the bid, or you can just click right in something like there, like 40 cents or something, and save. really quite simple. So the next question is, hey Paul, I hope all is well with you. Thank you very much. I was trying to find the book you mentioned about trading cryptocurrency. Can you share that with me? Well, yes, I can, and here it is, and it's called The Crypto Trader: How Anyone Can Make Money Trading Bitcoin and Other Cryptocurrencies by Glenn Goodman. I'll leave the link to this book down below. And it's probably one of the best books I've read on trading cryptocurrencies, which any form of trading, particularly if it's short-term trading, is quite high risk. But this book explains quite a lot of different concepts in trading cryptocurrencies and gives you sort of an outline of a plan. And yes, there's some new things in there to learn. It depends how familiar you are with trading. This book is good if you're a complete beginner, and also useful if you do have some experience in trading more traditional things like stocks and shares. But yes, I'd highly recommend that. Worth a read. I'm actually looking at something a bit more complex with cryptocurrencies called decentralized finance, and I suggest if anyone's really interested in this and wants to look at something a bit more complex, then just do a search on Google for decentralized finance. But that's something I'm looking at the moment, and it say from a mathematical point of view or sort of conceptual point of view, it is quite complicated but looks extremely promising, and it's only something that's recently come about and become a bit more popular. So that's a little side note, but do be careful. You can lose money trading, and you can potentially lose all your money, particularly in cryptocurrencies, if you're not careful. Okay, Mr. Paul, please help me. Why is my book Internal Pages doesn't show yet after more than 2 weeks? Well, I don't think that's unusual. Some of my books I've noticed I don't get the looking side feature for sometimes about 3 to 4 weeks. Again, it's not something that particularly concerns me. It always seems to appear eventually. My advice is don't worry about it. Just keep moving, keep producing, keep creating those books. Eventually it will turn up. If it doesn't, if you've given it 3-4 weeks, then what you can do is just contact KDP support and they will probably sort that out for you. Next question. Where do you stand on people copy and pasting book descriptions for their own use? Well, I think it's a pretty despicable act, to be honest. I've had it happen to mine. In fact, I've had people copy my exact title, subtitle and descriptions for books. They never make any sales. Again, which is probably understandable because, you know, if Amazon looks at that and there's already a book with that title, subtitle and description selling, why would they list this other book with the exact same title, subtitle and description that's not made any sales? And it will just fall by the wayside. And every single book I've seen that's copied mine just falls by the wayside, never makes any sales. So I'd say it's pretty despicable. I don't really get over concerned with it because I don't usually see people making much success with it. And so I just ignore it and carry on with my business. Now we've got time for one last question because it's a quick one, and that is, how do I delete a book from KDP Amazon? Incredibly simple. Just go to your bookshelf in your KDP platform where it says order author copies. Just click on the button next to it and you'll see it says unpublished print book. Just click on that and voila, your book will be unpublished. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. I certainly do, because it makes me think more about the business, and you often find when you are sort of looking at these things in more depth or teaching, you often learn the craft a lot more. And I hope, more importantly, you found it helpful and it answered some of the questions that you may have had going around in your mind but have not asked. If you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If not, do give it a thumbs down. And make sure you hit the subscribe button and also smash that notification bell. And by the way, please do send comments, ask me questions down below. Always grateful. I try my best to answer them, and some may even get into my next video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.